Hi guys, it's Miss Crystal. It's Wednesday. We're gonna talk about some books. I don't have a theme today. I literally just picked up 4 books and was like, this is gonna be great. So I have my high school / 8th grade books up first, and then I have 2 more for middle grade, middle school, just so you know what's going on. Okay, so let's get into it. Here we go. Blood and Moonlight. Blood and Moonlight. So this one is about this city called Collis, and in Collis there's this I don't even know, like a castle sort of, think castle, okay? It's like up on this hill, and it's called like the Holy Sanctum. Now this book is about this girl Patron, and Patron can detect flaws in the Holy Sanctum before they become like dire, I suppose, and so that's very valuable skill in her community, and they use it. But what they don't know is that her sight is actually like a supernatural gift. It's not just like intuition, it's like magic essentially that she got from the moon. Yeah, I know. And then because of her sight, she witnesses a crime and the perpetrator fleeing the scene. And so she's like caught up in this like crazy shadowy investigation. Lots of new characters involved, but it sounds like a cool one. I always love a bit of mystery and magic, you know? Next one. So this is called, what is this called? Aint Burned All the Bright. Aint Burned All the Bright. Yeah, interesting. So this is by Jason Reynolds, and the artwork is by Jason Griffin. And if you know anything about Jason Reynolds, you know that he's like an amazing, like beautiful author, one of the best and most popular authors of, today, basically. And this one is not really, there's no plot to this. There's really nothing to this, but it is like this book of art that they produced together. And it is like these cutout words mixed with these cutout picture styles. And it just talks about like loneliness, mental health, I think like there's a lot of schisms today, so it's just about that sort of thing, and feeling like isolated, I guess, which I think a lot of people do right now. So I think it was super interesting. I thought it was super thoughtful and beautiful, and I think that like it's a good jumping off point too if you want to introduce someone to the way that art and words can work together and possibly creating something from that. So, go for it. Okay, The Patron Thief of Bread. So this one gave me such like Oliver Twist, Lost Boys vibes, like get into it. And this is about this girl Duck, who's 8 years old when this book is occurring, but she was rescued when she was like a baby by this group known as the Crowns. So the Crowns is like, yeah, it's the equivalent of like Lost Boys, yeah, and it's like dodgy sort of behavior where like they steal things in order to survive, and they just kind of like live this transient existence, and that's all the Duck really knows. And then they decide to kind of put down roots in this town called O'Dear. And in O'Dear, there's this apprentice job that's going to be able to sustain them, I guess. And so Duck has to take this job, and she's apprenticing at this bakery. And so like everything's kind of going well, and then something happens, and then she has to choose between staying with the Crowns or continuing on at the bakery and kind of like, striking her own path. So I don't know, I thought it was interesting. It's set back in like, I'm gonna say like Middle Ages probably, like, I don't know, it's pretty old, but I think that it sounds cool. And if you're into like the whole Oliver Twisty vibe like I am, then you'll love it. Okay, new from here, last but not least. So this is by Kelly Yang. Kelly, she writes some really, really great stuff. I think she's one of the most fun authors that I've read in middle grade books in a while. And she writes this one about this kid, Knox. So Knox is 10 at the time, and this is at the point in the COVID-19 pandemic where we were going into serious lockdown procedures. And so he's starting out in Hong Kong, but his mom moves him and basically his brother to Cali because she feels like it'll be safer in the United States during this time. but not knowing like what was gonna happen. And like it's just about like racism that Knox faces, and also like the loneliness of, you know, isolation, the loneliness of being separated from his family in Hong Kong. And yeah, it's just about all that. So if you know any kids like struggling with transitioning from like COVID-19 or dealing with living with it, then yeah, I think this would be a great one. Okay, that is kind of it for me, and I think that those were interesting books, but you may disagree. Hopefully you see something next time that you like if you didn't like anything this time, and I'll see you next week. Bye!